GDF.plot is the right way to visualize geospatial data using Geopandas, but there are actually two other ways that I'm going to show you right now how to use, and those are the ways I would actually use to visualize geospatial data using Python. So first of all, if you're not familiar with Geopandas, I'd recommend taking a look at that. That's the best geospatial library to use for doing a lot of different things in Python with geospatial data. It's more or less like pandas, but it has a extra geometry column like you can see here that will actually allow you to work with geometric data. So to do that, you're going to install these three libraries. We're going to use Geopandas to start, and then we're going to use LeafMap and Lawnboard, the two other libraries I mentioned at the top of the video. So after I've imported all of our libraries, like you can see here, the next thing I'm going to do is create our GeoDataFrame. So I'm going to use the Geopandas library and read Parquet. I'm using a specific version of Parquet that's called GeoParquet, and this is a file of all the city bike trips in 2024 in New York City so far. Roughly equates to about 2 million-ish total rows, and we can actually check that out here. So just like pandas, you can actually use gdf.info, and we can see all this information. You can see we have about 2.1 million rows and some different things. So here's our special geometry column that's actually going to let us visualize all of our data. So like I said, you can use gdf.plot. That's a really simple plotting method that you can use off of the GeoDataFrame itself. Very easy to use, but as you can see, it's super slow here, not very fast at all, but you can get a simple plot. But this actually doesn't tell us anything. There's no other map information or things like that. Now you could keep going this route if you really wanted to. You could add different layers and things like that, but with this we actually want to see other data on maybe an interactive map. So that's where our second library comes in, and that is LeafMap. Next we're going to create a new map with LeafMap, which you can see here is we're going to just create this map and then we can visualize it. And you can see you get some cool extra controls. This is like a full interactive map. We can do some drawing, but what I really like, and we can just zoom out a little bit to see this a little easier, is this toolbox up here. And there's a bunch of things you can do, like a lot. So you can actually import some data here. You don't have to import as a geoframe. You can actually import a ton of data, both like satellite imagery and other data sets here. So there's a ton you can do here without actually doing anything. And you can actually save that out of the map, kind of saves the map object. It's a really powerful library, so I definitely recommend checking that out. So what the problem is you can only map a certain amount of layers. So we're just going to add our layer to the map. I'm just going to grab the first 50 rows. And you can see here it actually updated up here as well. So once I add that to the map, it just kind of keeps rendering off of that. So this is a total of like 50 points on the map. And what's unique about this data set is it isn't returning the lat longs of the actual station. Somewhere around here, there's a city bike station, but these are where all the trips started. So you can see they're scattered basically everywhere, somewhere around a station. So you can do some basic visualization with this, but to scale that up, there's another component of this you can use. Now we can also use an extension of LeafMap that uses another library called PyDeck for visualizing larger amounts of geospatial data. We can go ahead and install that here. And then once that's ready, we can import that below. All right, so here it is. We created our map, and as you can see here, we have every single point visualized. So we can kind of zoom in to these different places, super performant. And you can see here that there's probably some station. You can hover over the points and get all of the different data in there, but it visualizes everything pretty efficiently. So really odd looking map here that we ended up with at the end of the day. But if you have a ton of geospatial data you need to visualize, I would use Lawnboard. You can use this with lots of different data types, as you can see here in the examples. So that is a way that I would end up visualizing geospatial data if I were you. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the best geospatial libraries for Python, check out this video right up here.